Hi guys, Chef Wukan here. How are you today? Today, I'm going to have a very special video. Now, I'm not so concerned about viewership. I just like to cook. And because I like to cook both traditional and non-traditional Chinese dishes and Chinese American dishes that are very popular. But with the traditional Chinese dishes, only those true connoisseurs would really appreciate that type of cooking. Today, we're going to make a steamed fish, steamed sea bass, the Chinese way. Now, obviously, you fish eaters, you go to the seafood section, and they have all these beautiful fillets. But I'm going to introduce you to the whole fish itself with the head on. I know it may gross you out a little bit, but this is how the traditional fish is made, all right? Now, in terms of budget-wise, I tend to get the whole fish. I ask that they clean out the gut, scale it, cut the fins off. I'll have to pay a little bit more, but, it's all done for me, so I don't have to get my hands all dirty, all right? Now, here is the sea bass, okay? It's been trimmed, gutted, right? Now, how do you look at a fresh fish? Okay, so when you go, if you are daring enough to go to a Asian market where they have all whole fish available, I want you to look out for your special fish, right? Now, the first thing you should look at is the eye. The eye should be crystal clear, okay? Then you press on the skin. It should bounce back. Now, when they did have the gills, which I did see, they should be bright red, okay? Those are the three factors. If the eye is cloudy, you don't want it. If you put your finger on the skin and it doesn't bounce back, you don't want it. If the gills are not red, then you don't want it. That means it's been sitting around for a while, and as long as they put it on ice, they'll try to sell it. All right, so you have to be, don't rely on what they say. They know exactly what fish has to go and what doesn't. You have to use your eye and feel and basically smell it. It should smell like the sea. Now you may say that's kind of funny. Of course it's kind of funny from the sea, but if it's spoiled, you'll notice a very distinct aroma. All right, so I want you to think about that. If you do take the challenge and the plunge to go for a whole fish, it's very traditional to have the whole fish. It's very auspicious, and it has a good look to it. All right, now what we're going to do is we have chives, we have scallion that's been sliced. This will be dressed over the fish after it's been steamed. Okay. Cilantro, another beautiful herb that goes well with steamed fish. We are going to put a little bit of light soy sauce in. Now, if you don't have light soy sauce, you could pretty much take your regular soy sauce, add a little water to it, and that will lighten it up. Fresh garlic, we already crushed. And we have a platter. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to drop the fish in the boiling water and low simmer for a while. And you'll know it's done when the eye turns white. Okay? That's exactly the first indicator that the fish is done. All right? So, but we're also going to add some ginger. So remember, I bought a whole bunch of ginger. I cut it up and I put it in Shaoxing wine to preserve it. Well, this is a piece that is very handy. So I'll skin it with a potato peeler, because there's nothing like having steamed fish with fresh ginger and garlic. It's a little slippery. Okay. So we'll take the cleaver. Now, as I've always mentioned before, try to have the crab claw, the bear claw, hold the ginger down firmly, even putting your bottom of your hand down on the board to hold it tight. And then press down and forward. Lean the blade against your knuckle as you cut it. Retract your fingers a little bit, but keep the blade away from your fingers if you can. And when you come down to the last piece, just cut it to the side. Then take the remaining pieces. Here's the remaining pieces here, right? So we'll just hold it down and then press. Now my word with a knife. Whether you're using a cleaver, this is one piece of high carbon steel, so you don't have to worry about the handle falling off as you're chopping, which is it's a phobia of mine, so that's why I bought the high carbon steel. Whether it's a cleaver or whether it's a regular knife, it's important to keep them sharp. Maintain your knife. So you'll say, well, if I maintain a sharp knife, won't I get cut? If you maintain a sharp knife, you will not be cut. It's when you work with a dull knife that the knife slips, and then you'll be cut. And then you'll be saying, he told me so. All right? So this guy's been pretty clean. He's ready to be put in the hot water. We'll put the flame on. We're going to add some sesame oil to this. We're going to heat up oil to drizzle over the cooked fish so it has a nice crackling sound. And we're just going to lay the fish in the water. So we want to be able to cover the whole fish. Okay, we don't want to boil it because if we boil it, it will make the fish fall apart. So we just want to keep it at a medium flame. And we'll use our tongs and a spatula to flip it and pick it out. So how do you know when it's done? Like I said before, the eye has to turn white. Once the eye turns white, then you know it's done. Very simple. So we're going to take it out when it's done. Then we're going to cover it in light soy sauce. Then we'll put the scallion over it. And then we'll heat up some oil, add some garlic and ginger, let those flavors fuse together, get the oil really hot, and then we're going to pour it right over the fish with the scallion right below. And that is how to make sea bass 1, 2, 3. And if you're interested, I could make a red snapper fish, deep fry it whole, and have a sweet and sour sauce with pineapples, cherries, onions, and peppers on top. And it's so delicious. And it looks fabulous in front of company. All right, so if you like that, let me know. I'm always open to different ways, but I want to show you the steam way. It's healthier. I try to stay away from fried as much as I can, but I love fried food, so I can't help it sometimes. But having the whole fish dipped in batter and deep fried, and then putting a sweet and sour sauce on it with maraschino cherries, pineapples, onions, and peppers, and a nice sweet and sour sauce, it's delicious. And tomorrow, I'm going to show you another traditional dish. It's cooking snails. If you guys ever had escargot, well, the periwinkle snail is a black snail, and it's very delicious. When it's marinated, when it's stir-fried with black bean sauce, jalapeno peppers, oyster sauce and hoisin sauce, it's just really delicious. And it's finger licking good. So that dish, you'll have to get a toothpick and try to, grab the hood of the snail off, and then suck the snail out of his little shell. And we spend hours eating it. My daughter and I, she loved it. Here's a funny story. My wife was trying to teach my daughter how to thread, so you had that eye to hand coordination. So she had bought a bead set, so she can actually take the bead, put the needle in with the thread, and then she learned hand to eye coordination. But at that time I was cooking snails with black bean sauce. So my daughter's like, she loves to eat. She said, "Daddy, what's that?" "That's snails with black bean sauce." She said, "Sounds delicious. It smells delicious." I said, "Would you like some?" She said, "I'd like to try it." So I made some, and she took the snail, and she licked all the flavor off the snail. Then she had a toothpick, and she went into the house of the snail to take off his door. So that required a little bit of skill. And then she would suck the meat out of the shell. She said, "Daddy, this is delicious." And then for, I think, maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes, all she was eating was the snails. So my wife said, "Well, Felicia, would you like to finish your threading of the beads?" I said, "No, Mommy, I'd rather eat the snails instead." And she had the snails. And from then on, she had the perfect eye-to-hand coordination based on what Daddy cooked for her. So I introduced her. She loved it. She loves the flavor. To this day, she still loves it. So whenever I can buy it, I always buy it. And we always reminisce, that time. All right? So the fish, the eye is turning white. So obviously there's a little scum here, and we'll flip it over. But you want to get the eye to be crystal white, okay? And as a tradition, I always want to cheer. So cheers on a beautiful sea bass dish that I'm making right now. Cheers. Okay, so I'm going to take it out. Slide it on a plate. So we have the whole fish with the bone in it. It's been gutted, it's been scaled. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to arrange the fish. So what we're going to do is pour a little bit of the light soy sauce over it. Then we'll take some shredded scallion and cover it. Then we'll take some cilantro and decorate the plate. And the cilantro you can eat. Now, we'll set this aside. And we'll bring back the wok. We'll add a little bit of sesame oil on top. And a little bit of the Shaoxing wine. Shaoxing wine goes with everything. It's delicious. We'll let the water evaporate a little bit. Now, I would have to say that I would insist, if you do try this, to use fresh ginger and fresh garlic. So basically, we'll add a little bit of oil. Now, everything in moderation is good. It's not like you're having oil all the time. We'll add the garlic, and we'll add the ginger. Now, you may ask, you may see on TV that a lot of chefs may use a lot of oil, and they always wonder why. You know, we've been raised to not use so much oily things. It makes us gain weight. But oil makes things smoother, go down smoother, and we love that. So here we are cooking the ginger and the garlic, and we want that temperature of the oil to get really high, but we don't want to burn the garlic or ginger. We really don't. If you burn the garlic ginger, you got to toss it. It ruins the flavor. So basically, by doing it this way, you're infusing the flavors of the garlic and the ginger into the oil. And we'll add a little white pepper. White pepper always adds a good flavor. Okay, now pour it over. We'll pour it over the fish. I don't know if you can hear that. So we have here steamed sea bass. Took a little spill here. So what we have here is a beautiful steamed sea bass. Okay. I get so excited because I created this beautiful dish that when I do show you guys, the sauce got a little tipsy. So we'll add a little bit more sauce. Okay. So it's beautiful steamed sea bass. Now, if you like what you saw, and today was a very traditional dish, right? So beautiful. Okay. Please subscribe. By subscribing, you'll be notified of another delicious Chef Wu Can video. And if you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up and give me a comment if you like. And I'll be able to try to accommodate as many requests that I can. So I said you can get the red snapper if you like. I'll deep fry it in front of you, and I'll make a sweet and sour sauce with pineapples, maraschino cherries, onions, and peppers, and pour it over the deep fried fish, and it looks wonderfully. So this would be an impressive dish for your family and friends. Okay, it's very easy. All right, so let me know. But at the same time, I want to let you know about one of my links, Chef Wu Can collection.etsy.com. On that, I have some condiments, spicy condiments, spicy garlic, crunchy garlic chili oil relish, and a spicy honey with honeycomb relish. So that's at chefwucan.etsy.com. chefwucancollection.etsy.com. On my regular website, I have chefwucan.com, and in that website, I'm a restaurant critic, food blogger. I have some of my YouTube videos, some articles, some introductions to some easy recipes, some new fruits, some new vegetables that you may not have tried, which is easily accessible around these days, with Asian markets. And I always want to look out for my customers, my viewers, because if a restaurant tries to give us the shyster, I don't like shysters, charging exorbitant amounts of money for basically a very inexpensive cut of meat. All right, so let me know. Just remember, if Chef Wu can, you can too. And I look forward to your comments, and I look forward to new subscribers. And for my existing subscribers, I want to thank you all. I do appreciate you. And aloha. Thank you. Bye-bye.